spending the afternoon in Old Town Petaluma, and I'm going to be pointing out doors for giants and impossible construction, incredible masonry, incredible cut stonework. This place is going to be a challenge for me to keep it together. There's way too many things to see here. Don't trip. This Oddfellows building, this vintage bank, repurposing. All these storefronts have all new facadings and fronts, but it has the original brick core intact. You can see all the buildings. And this one here, this corner, and I don't think those are eagles on top.
Yeah, and the purchased a very large house, and my dad was just sitting with the.
So walking downtown and just seeing what there is to see in a short period of time. So plastered over surfaces of brick, artificial rock, facading, lath and plaster. Okay, there's some fascinating emblems on the front of this building. Have to be seen to be believed. There's amazing imagery. It appears to be sculpted granite. Get a close look at it. And I'm thinking Phoenix, Firebird. It's the Firebird. And that is some sort of a fasces-like instrument. And these doors are absolutely huge. Very huge. We're gonna get a close look right now. We're gonna get a real good look at this material. Okay, so it has the appearance of granite, but you can see a little bit of the opening on the corner exposing terracotta. So this looks very similar to the Matson building in San Francisco. So these are huge ceramic elements that are we refer to as a cladding, and it is likely over a brick core. It would have to be brick core. So huge structure. The original doors are massive. Massive doors. There's some people walking by. Let's compare it to the door opening.
Really. And this ain't your car either, mine. Oh, this is my car.
Okay, so this opening is like 30 feet tall. I don't know if we'll see a door this large, but we're going to have a look at this Masonic Lodge, which has massive floors and openings, and a huge copper domed octagonal clock. But once again, I is 4. But that would be a fail on every elementary school test. If you were to ask to write in Roman numerals number 4, that's a fail. We're going in here. So we have a rare opportunity. We're inside of the Vintage Bank Antiques in downtown Petaluma. And gentleman Jesse is here with us.
Pleasure.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the building, and he's going to point out some of the interesting features. What was the building originally for when constructed, in what year?
So originally 1926 opened up as American Trust Company, which then turned to Wells Fargo, followed by a credit union.
And you had mentioned that the main core of the building is all brick construction, and this is a specialty cladding facading that is a faux marble finish.
Correct. So
like
travertine plaster, which is what this is.
And when was this originally installed?
Same year, 26.
Okay, good. So what I've noticed is some of the amazing reliefs that are up in the very high reaches. So we're looking at this what looks like an eagle. And then we've seen some other items, the fasces, which is the bound bundle of rods that are found on a lot of the U.S. currency and a lot of the ancient buildings that we see, the fasces. Have you ever heard of the fasces before today?
Up until now, I have not. So that's really interesting.
So I showed you a picture of that, but it seems to be some sort of a. I'm going to see if I can find it, and maybe you could tell me about the vault. I want to make sure to speak loud so I can hear you, please.
The vault is a really epic structure. This brand of vault became a little bit more famous during the Hiroshima bombing because all contents inside of the safe had no traces of radiation, nor was anything damaged.
I see. So is there lead construction?
Good question.
For shielding? Well, let me show you this fasces. So on the top of this column, at the very top of the high reaches, there's the fasces. But before I move into the fasces, I noticed this bird, and there are several of them. Have you ever given any thought that maybe that's not an eagle, but it's a representation of the phoenix, which is popular in culture?
No.
Phoenix rising.
Tell me why and how they would incorporate with the bank, if you know.
I don't exactly know why this has been sculpted into the structure, but it does seem to be a repeating theme throughout all the old world buildings. What looks like an eagle, but many times the ones on top, in fact, the sculptures really are phoenix-like. Okay. So this fasces seems to be a representation of some sort of a power device that was used by the old world soldiers or inhabitants of the structures. This seems to be. It could be metal bound together and acting as some sort of an active battery for release of plasma energy, or possibly for good and constructive purposes, but we really don't know. Trying to figure it out. It seems to be represented in all the architecture, and it's on the currency. It's in the halls of the government where they are conducting their State of the Union speech, both left and right side of the speakers. So it's interesting it is here. There was something over here that was especially interesting that we were going to look at before I went. There was an older desk or something. Maybe it was something special.
Yes, the original desk to the back. You can have a spot for your little checks and deposit slips right over here.
That is super. So what's it made out of?
So this is cast iron. It's bronze plated.
Wow. Well, hey, thank you very much, Jesse, for spending a few minutes, and we're going to see each other on the internet, and if you don't like the content, I'll delete it from the internet immediately.
You got it, brother. You're set.
What an interesting building. So he's kind of letting me, I can prowl around and see what's what. So some sort of an amazing radiator here. Amazing thick grating, but a lot of marble and the faux marble work, which involves a tremendous amount of skilled artisan craftsmen and an incredible amount of scaffolding that would be involved in this type of a finish. So we've got the, let's look at this before we go out. Octagonal bas relief, simulated relief, possibly cast material. What do we have in the middle? Yeah. 8. It's all about the number 8, apparently. It's octagons everywhere. This does look like a phoenix, though. Ah, but look at this. Right, we got a giant fountain. This is the Masonic Lodge, corner of Western, North Petaluma. But these are massive iron. This is iron superstructure that runs up the entire massive building. So all the fronts have been refacaded and repurposed, but there's some maintained detail in the ironwork. And looking at the construction, very astounding. So we have a repurposed original opening entryway for the Masonic Lodge, which is now a really nice guitar shop. A super nice shop.
Take this guy's picture.
Really nice shop. Hi. Very nice shop. I'll be back in a little while. So just completely enjoying the surroundings. There's weird stuff everywhere. But then it goes from a transition from iron and old brick, which looks like it's been painted over and replastered over multiple times. And then this is gunite, or shotcrete. So this has been purposely sprayed over an existing, look at the iron in the construction. Huge rivets. You can see the surface of the rivets. You can't see them because they're half covered by the plaster. So this is brick construction with a spray-on finish, and I don't know who in their right mind, I don't know who would ever consider that this would be an upgrade on any level to make anything look fantastic. They did have a door for giants though, which is great, and there's all kinds of weirdness down here. There's weirdness down here. So we'll just put a little mystery brick. So there's a strange breezeway, and this is the old exterior building, which has these star tie-ins. Seems to be afterthought seismic consideration, but the surface of this is just scalded. The surface of this. So the mortar has been restored, but the So we've got this huge brick arch, very tall, incredible. What else is back here? So we've got the plastered over shield at the post office in Petaluma. I'm in an alley. I'm just looking at the walls. And this place is huge. A lot of interest. That's all plastered over brick. Looks terrible. And who does that kind of work? Look at that's garbage. You can see the trowel marks. That's not done by craftsmen. But you can see the closed up windows if you look carefully. But back here is a semi-incinerated wall that's just connected here to the big building. And then up top, the bricks take a notably different shade. Top level. Notice how dark and charred they become. So there's a section of wall that comes across the building that really doesn't seem to belong. It's almost like a wall that was left standing. So here's some interior detail of the arch. A gap inside. And just another building. It's just part of a building. A lot below grade. And over here we get this insane wall. Just what is that even made out of? What is this even made out of? Made of lava rock from the volcano. Okay, so we could let us into the building. Lights are supposed to come on, and there's some downstairs basement area, boarded up, boarded up, boarded up, somewhere. We don't know. I'm gonna get a better look in a little while. Every doorway and window is bricked up, the entire run. All of it. So this entire building, which I of course believe is brick constructed, but these are large terracotta panels, so you can see the ceramic with the glaze on top. Seems to be grouted, but the entire building is clad in these massive panels with all kinds of incredible detail on top. All of it high fired ceramic, and then for some reason there's really nothing here on this keystone, but there's a place for something. Very huge and interesting building, and the bottom pieces here are all large granite blocks. Very huge. And this one here is actually curved. Got some kind of, almost looks like metal or brass. Down here, you can clearly see on the granite block, which has curvature, goes well below grade, and you can clearly see the machine marks. Machine tool marks that cut these giant granite blocks. So all these people are probably wondering, what is that guy looking at? That guy's stupid. So what a huge building. I don't know if there's a glare. Massive, massive, massive building. And they're calling it a seed bank. The seed bank.